August 17th, 1966. Niterói, Brazil. A teenager goes out to fly his kite on the slopes of Vintém hill. He expects nothing more than a clear sky and a strong breeze. But what he finds is a mystery that has gone unsolved for decades. Deep in the undergrowth he found them. 2 men, dead. They were fully dressed in tailored suits and raincoats, lying side by side, as if they simply decided to take a permanent, peaceful nap in the dirt. But this was no nap, and the scene was a chilling theater of the absurd. Over their eyes, blocking their final view of the sky, were crudely fashioned metal shields, lead masks. Why? What were these men protecting their eyes from? A flash of light? A cloud of gas? Or something seen only by them? The only clue, a small notebook. Inside, a final, terrifying instruction. 1830 ingest capsule. Wait for signal. For over 50 years, Vintém Hill has kept its secret. This is the lead mask's mystery. And before we dive into the full story, if you love true crime and unsolved mysteries, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. To understand this case, we have to start with the men themselves. The victims were Manuel Pereira da Cruz, 32, and Miguel Jose Viana, 34. Both were electronics technicians from Campos dos Goitacazes, a quiet Brazilian town. To neighbors and friends, they seemed ordinary, unremarkable individuals leading unremarkable lives. But behind that ordinary life was a shared fascination. They were obsessed with science experiments, spiritualism, and the idea of reaching higher realms of existence. They often spoke about contacting other beings, unlocking hidden energies, pushing beyond the limits of the known. On August 17th, 1966, they told their families they were traveling to Niterói to buy equipment for work. They packed lightly, put on their best suits, and left home, never to return. In Niterói, witnesses remembered them buying waterproof raincoats. They also purchased a single bottle of mineral water. The bartender who sold it to them later recalled how tense they looked, constantly checking their watches, whispering to one another. That evening, around 6:30, they were last seen climbing the slopes of Vintém Hill. After that moment, their trail vanished. The only concrete evidence the police had was the bizarre accoutrements, an empty water bottle, and the small notebook. Inside was the cryptic entry, 1630 be at agreed place, 1830 ingest capsule. After effect, protect metals, wait for signal. Ingest capsule, protect metals, wait for signal. The words hung in the air, offering clues that only deepened the enigma. The initial police investigation was baffled, with no clear cause of death, no obvious foul play, and the bizarre accoutrements. They were chasing shadows. Autopsies were conducted, but they yielded frustratingly little. There were no signs of violence, no bullet wounds, no stab marks. Internal organs showed some congestion, but nothing conclusive to point to a specific poison or a medical event. It was as if the men had simply died. The lead masks themselves were a significant point of contention. Were they meant to shield their eyes from something? Or perhaps to contain something? The masks offered no practical protection from anything apparent at the scene. As the official investigation stalled, theories began to proliferate. Were they involved in some secret experiment gone wrong? A bizarre suicide pact? A cult ritual? Or perhaps something far more outlandish. A clandestine meeting with extraterrestrial beings. The "protect metals" phrase fueled speculation about some kind of electromagnetic phenomenon. There was the curious account of a witness. A young woman claimed to have seen Miguel and Manuel accompanied by a third man in a similar suit, driving a jeep. Despite a widespread appeal, this third man was never identified, and his existence remains unconfirmed. Was he the signal they were waiting for, or a crucial piece of the puzzle that simply vanished? The greatest tragedy was the void left behind. 2 families were shattered. Miguel and Manuel were ordinary men with jobs, wives, and children. To their communities, their deaths were a bewildering act of absence, leaving wives to raise families alone, haunted by questions that had no answers. Investigators struggled to reconcile the image of 2 dedicated electronics technicians with the bizarre scene on Vintém Hill. They searched the homes looking for a motive, a clear connection between their lives and the lead masks, but found only the tools of their trade and books on spiritualism. The confusion wasn't just in the forensics. It was in trying to piece together the final, secret thoughts of 2 men who quietly walked away from their lives and into an eternal mystery. Today, the lead masks case is remembered as one of Brazil's strangest unsolved mysteries. Documentaries, books, and researchers continue to revisit the hillside where the bodies were found, but the police file still lists the case as unresolved. It now stands alongside the Dyatlov Pass incident in Russia and other infamous mysteries, as a case where truth seems just out of reach. 2 men, 2 masks, 1 cryptic note, and a silence that has lasted for nearly 60 years. So what do you think? Were Manuel and Miguel seekers of scientific knowledge who miscalculated? Spiritualists trying to reach the divine? Or did they fall victim to something far beyond human understanding? Share your theory in the comments below. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe for more journeys into the world's most chilling unsolved mysteries.